Your puppy is 8 weeks old. You have waited months for this. You bought the bed, the toys, the food. You've watched every video you could find. And within 48 hours, they've had 4 accidents on your floor, screamed through the night, and drawn blood from your hand. Welcome to the Dog Talk. And here's what nobody tells you before you bring that puppy home. Those first 7 days don't just shape their behavior, they wire their brain. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania found that the socialization and learning habits formed in weeks 8 through 12 directly predict adult behavior patterns. The habits that form this week will still be showing up 6 months from now. These are the 5 biggest mistakes new puppy owners make in week 1 and exactly what to do instead. Mistake number 5, and it starts within the first hour of being home. You set the puppy down and let them explore. It feels kind. It feels right. You want them to feel comfortable. But here is what is actually happening. A puppy with full run of the house has no idea where the rules are. They will chew what they find, pee where they want, and practice behaviors you do not want them practicing, because nobody is there to interrupt. And every time they repeat a behavior, the neural pathway for that behavior gets stronger. That is not metaphor. That is neuroscience. The fix is something called a house line. It is exactly what it sounds like. A lightweight 6-foot leash that attaches to the puppy's collar and drags behind them while you are home and supervising. You never grab it. You never correct with it. You simply step on it when the puppy starts to wander somewhere they should not. The house line gives you the supervision without chasing. And chasing, as you may have already discovered, accidentally teaches your puppy that running from you is a fun game. The rule is this: if you cannot watch your puppy actively, they should be in a confined space, not as punishment, as management. There is a significant difference, and we will get to that in mistake number 3. But before we get there, there is a mistake that is costing new owners weeks of house training progress. And most people have no idea they are making it. Mistake number 4. And this one has a single rule you need to burn into your memory. If you didn't see it happen, you can't fix it. If your puppy has an accident and you find it after the fact, the moment to teach has already passed. Rubbing their nose in it, scolding them, showing them the mess, none of that communicates what you think it communicates. Puppies do not connect your reaction now to something they did 3 minutes ago. What you are actually teaching them is that you are unpredictable. Successful house training is not about punishment. It is about setting up the conditions where accidents are physically unlikely. There are 5 moments every day when your puppy almost certainly needs to go outside. First thing in the morning, after every meal, after every nap, after every play session, and right before bed. That is not a loose guideline. Studies on canine elimination behavior show that 8-week-old puppies need to urinate roughly every 45 to 90 minutes during active periods and within 15 minutes of eating. Set a timer on your phone if you need to. A puppy cannot tell you when they need to go. That is your job right now. Now, the next mistake is one that feels like you are doing everything right. The crate is set up. The puppy goes in at night. But there is a critical piece that almost every new owner misses, and it is the reason so many puppies develop separation anxiety. Mistake number 3. And this one is subtle. You have the crate. Your puppy sleeps in it at night. You put them in it when you leave the house. You have been told this is what you do. But here is what is actually going wrong. If the crate only appears at night or when you leave, your puppy builds a very specific association. The crate means you are gone, or it means darkness, or it means alone for a long time. And that association builds anxiety rather than comfort. The research on canine sleep patterns is clear. Puppies need 16 to 18 hours of sleep in a 24-hour period. That is not all at night. That is naps throughout the entire day, roughly every 2 hours of waking activity. Your crate should be used for every single one of those naps. Not just nights, not just departures, every nap. When the crate becomes the place your puppy goes to sleep regularly across the day, it stops being a signal for your absence. It becomes a den, a safe space they already associate with rest. Do that consistently for 7 days, and the crate becomes one of the most useful tools you own. But there is a mistake that sits at the foundation of every other skill you want to teach. And it starts with how you use your voice in week 1. Mistake number 2 is one of the most common things I see in the first week. And it delays real training by weeks. New owners hear the puppy's name and immediately start testing commands. Sit, stay, come, down. The puppy looks confused. The owner repeats it louder. The puppy wanders off. The owner gets frustrated. Here is the issue. You are testing a skill the puppy has not been taught yet. That is like handing someone a calculus exam on their first day of school. Start with a treat pouch. Clip it to your waistband. Fill it with tiny, soft treats. Your puppy's nose will find you immediately. The luring method works like this. You hold a treat at your puppy's nose, move it slowly into the position you want, and the moment they land in that position, you mark it with a word like yes and deliver the treat. You are not asking yet. You are showing. Before you ask for a single command, spend the first 3 days building name recognition. Say your puppy's name once, in a warm tone, and the second they look at you, reward them. A puppy who reliably responds to their name is a puppy you can communicate with. And that changes everything that comes after. But here is the mistake that causes the most stress in week 1, gets the most questions, and honestly, the most blood. And it is one most people are handling completely backwards. Mistake number 1. Puppy biting. Your puppy is not aggressive. They are not dominant. They are not trying to establish rank. They are doing the only thing they know how to do to interact with the world right now. Because for the first 8 weeks of their life, biting their siblings was how they played, explored, and communicated. The problem is the reaction. When a puppy bites and you yelp, pull away, wave your hands, or say no repeatedly, most puppies read that as engagement. You are now part of the game. And the behavior escalates. The redirect method is what actually works. The moment teeth touch skin, you stop all movement, go still, and immediately offer a puppy toy into that space. You are not punishing. You are redirecting the energy onto something appropriate. A note on toys. Interactive toys, anything with rope, flaps, or squeakers, should never be left with your puppy unsupervised. Those are for active play only. The risk of ingestion is real, and it is documented. Leave a Kong or a hard chew toy for solo time. When you get this right, biting typically starts to reduce within 10 to 14 days. When you get it wrong, it can persist for months. So, here is what the first 7 days actually look like when you get this right. A house line that keeps them supervised. Potty trips at the 5 key moments. A crate that becomes a safe space, not a jail. Teaching before testing. And redirecting biting instead of feeding the game. None of this requires a professional trainer. It requires consistency and knowing what to do before you make the mistake. If you want to know what to do in week 2, that video is on screen now. The first 7 days set the floor. Week 2 is where you start to build. This is the Dog Talk. Subscribe so you don't miss it.